Hey everyone, I am super excited today because with me I have Ankush Singla, co-founder of Coding Ninjas, and in this video he will be sharing his journey of how he got into IIT Delhi computer science. Then he went on to work at Amazon. Then he did his masters in CS from Stanford. Then he worked with Facebook, and then he quit his job at Facebook and started his company Coding Ninjas. I think this will be really interesting for anyone who is learning programming and they want to understand their career path. So let's say, why should you do masters, or what should be the reason for you to start a company, and why do you have a benefit as a developer, and a lot more. Okay, check out the timestamps. Now I also want to quickly talk about a summer scholarship test that is organized by Coding Ninjas. If you don't already know, Coding Ninjas is a great place for you to learn programming. They have courses on C++, app development, Java, web development, machine learning, and a whole lot more. And they are organizing 2 summer scholarship tests. Number 1 is for foundational courses for you to learn programming languages. This will be happening on the 26th of April, 9 p.m. And the second one is on advanced courses. So if you want to learn about full stack development, or if you want to learn about advanced concepts of machine learning and all of these things, then you can check out that scholarship test that will be happening on the 27th of April, again 9 p.m. Now there is a fee of 100 rupees for you to register for this test, but everyone will be getting a minimum scholarship for 500 rupees, and the maximum is going to be 100% complete waiver for you to do these courses. So if you're interested, you can check out the link in description. And now here is the conversation. Make sure that you hit the like button, and here it is. So let's talk about your journey as a software developer. First of all, you went into IIT Delhi and then you became a software developer, and now you're running Coding Ninjas. So first of all, let's start about your life at IIT Delhi. If you remember what all you did, what was that time like for you? Tell us a little bit about that.
My hometown is in a small town in Haryana, so it's exactly in the middle of Haryana. So schooling was okay. I generally used to be the topper in school, and I scored 50 marks more than the second person because nobody really wanted to study. So from there I sort of went into IIT, and the first feeling was that yaar sab bahut sahi hai, and I am somewhere in the middle, so I really need to now step up my game to really do well. So I think that was the first sort of shock that I got, right? पहली बार ऐसा हो रहा था कि first semester के कुछ courses हैं जिसमें समझने में थोड़ी fight हो रही है, right? That was the first thing that I remember from my IIT journey, that things are not that easy anymore. I need to work harder, and I need to do that. So that was the first feeling, and honestly, got into computer science just because everybody told me that's what you should do. If you get a good rank, you go to computer science. If you don't get that good a rank, then basically कोई और department सोचेंगे. But कभी code नहीं किया था.
What do you think IIT Delhi has that makes it different? Not just the hype, obviously there's the hype, but then outside of the hype, what is the real differences that you think makes it unique, makes it worth it for students to prepare for IIT? Is it the professors? Is it the alumni network? Is it research facilities available? What exactly is it?
So honestly, I think it's none of these. I think what makes IIT the best is that the best of the lot wants to go to IIT. So once I am in IIT, right, as I'm saying, everybody around me is extremely smart, and that really pushes you hard. There will be few people who will just chill, who will not do a lot of work, but even those people now will be doing amazing things in their life because inherently हर कोई बहुत smart है. अब वो उस time पे hard work कर रहा है कि नहीं कर रहा है, वो बाद में कर रहा है. They will figure it out for themselves. So I think that's the best part about IIT, that everybody around you is doing amazing things, right? And now, for example, I look at it, लोग या तो बहुत amazing jobs कर रहे हैं, या फिर लोग startups कर रहे हैं, बहुत बढ़िया, either they are at a good position within a startup. So everybody is doing really well for themselves, and in general, that's very, very inspiring. And फिर वो ऐसी वाली feeling होती है ना कि अगर if that becomes the normal, and you're not doing well, then you start feeling a little in most of the colleges, if you are doing well, you are an exception. Right, but if you go to IIT Delhi, you will find if you're not doing well, you will be the exception, right? So the norm is that everybody is doing something or else. So that's, I think, the one thing that sort of the first day, I would say 6 months, 1 year was basically this at IIT for me. Then obviously I settled in. I sort of realized that this is what I want. I don't want to be the topper. I want to be somewhere where I'm doing fine. So 8 GPA is fine. So that's basically how.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you graduate from IIT, then you go and work at Amazon, and then you left Amazon after like 1 or 2 years, I think, and you started off with Stanford. Why did you take that decision, and why did you think that masters is what is the right choice for you at that point?
So I left it exactly 1 year, like 1 year, 2-3 days, and honestly, देखो लाइफ बहुत रैंडम है ना. मैंने वो कॉलेज में जीआरई दे दिया था, सो आई सॉर्ट ऑफ फेल्ट लाइक दिस इज आल्सो एन ऑप्शन दैट आई कैन एक्सप्लोर. एंड ऑनेस्टली वन फीलिंग दैट आई हैड एट Amazon, शुरू के 4-5 महीने वाज अ लॉट ऑफ फन. लाइक आई वाज एक्चुअली बिल्डिंग समथिंग दैट वाज यूजफुल. कोई लोग यूज कर रहे थे उसको, है ना, सब बढ़िया एकदम. बट देन आई सॉर्ट ऑफ गॉट इनटू अ फीलिंग कि यार बहुत सारे लोग हैं एंड आई एम वेरी स्मॉल पार्ट ऑफ इट, and I'm not enjoying it. I don't feel whatever I'm doing is extremely important, and पता नहीं होता, like नहीं भी जाऊँगा ऑफिस तो कितना ही फर्क पड़ेगा. So that was like the feeling that I started getting, and then I was like कि tech I like, I like tech, but what I'm doing right now I don't like that. So let me take 1-2 years, do a masters, get into a different environment and sort of figure out कि करना क्या है actually मुझे. So that was basically the feeling, and यही लग रहा था यार 2 साल और पढ़ लेते हैं, बढ़िया एकदम, क्या फाइट है, फिर जॉब तो करनी है हमेशा.
How should a bachelor student decide if they should be doing masters? What should be the factors they should be thinking of? Because this is something really confusing for a lot of people, especially now that we are moving more and more towards companies not requiring that master's degree.
Right.
They are fine with bachelor's, or even if no degrees. That's also something that some companies do in US at least.
Yeah.
That might also happen in India. So how should they decide that, okay, this is what I should do and this is what I should not be focusing on?
Right. See, so I think, as I said, right, like masters to me is like a one-way journey. And what I mean by that is, for example, if you do undergrad and you do computer science, nobody expects you to sort of, it's not necessary for you to continue with computer science. You can decide to do that, or you can decide to become a YouTuber, or you can decide to join a consulting company or a bank, right? All of that these are fine options that people can opt for. बट जस्ट इमेजिन कि यार अब आईआईटी चले गए, फिर स्टैनफोर्ड चले गए, उसको मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि यार अब मैं ना टेक नहीं करना चाहता. नाउ आई वांट टू डू समथिंग लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल आई वांट टू गेट इनटू बैंकिंग, आई वांट टू गेट इनटू फाइनेंस, राइट? इट्स अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ इट बिकम्स हार्डर फॉर यू टू जस्टिफाई टू योरसेल्फ. सो सिमिलरली लाइक अगर तुम बोलते हो कि यार कंप्यूटर साइंस कर लिया बट एमबीए करनी है, फिर एमबीए करने का तुम बोल रहे हो नहीं कोडिंग ही करनी थी, एमबीए नहीं करनी थी. सो लाइक इट बिकम्स sort of hard for you to do that. So generally my recommendation to everybody is that unless you have a strong reason why you want to do it, and you know, like you have clarity कि लाइफ में अब ये करना है, उसके लिए ये चाहिए, don't do masters, right? So you should, like default is undergrad किया, अब जॉब करो. नहीं मजा आ रहा, you want to explore something else, you can definitely try and do that. Once you reach a place where you, for example, a lot of consulting companies would want you to do an MBA if you want a promotion. अब यार अगर लाइफ में वही चाहिए और उसके लिए MBA चाहिए, तो फिर we will do it, right? Then we should definitely do it. And similarly, for example, in my a lot of people want to do masters because they want to, यार US जाना है, that's what I want to do, and that's a absolutely fair life choice, right? Like I don't want to be in India, I want to live in the US, and masters is a perfect gateway into the US and makes a lot of sense, right? I think that's an absolutely perfect reason to do a masters if you know कि टेक में रहना है, अब मैं MS कर लेता हूँ और फिर मेरे को US में वीजा मिल जाएगा, I'll be able to work there. In my case, it was not this clear. In my case, it was कि यार जो मैं कर रहा हूँ मेरे को मजा नहीं आ रहा, but टेक में करना है, so I want to take 2 years for myself to figure out what I want. I'll try something, I'll try building something on my own, I'll do an internship, and I'll hopefully figure it out by end of 2 years कि मुझे क्या करना है. And my feeling was that I don't have to like really evaluate it from profit, like कि how much I'll spend, कितना होगा नहीं होगा. Feeling was कि ठीक है यार पैसा तो will make eventually, so that's not a problem. So let's do a master. So I'm just saying, find a reason that works for you.
You then went on to work at Facebook, right? What was the experience like at Facebook for you?
Very, very amazing. Like, honestly, very, very.
Did you get to meet Mark over there? Like, you were in Facebook USA, or where were you?
So I was in the Facebook main office. So when I did my intern, that was relatively smaller office. We only had like 500 engineers at that time. Total team size will be, I think, still 3 digits. And Mark used to sit in the same floor, like very close, right? Like you would potentially see almost all the engineers in that office. It was not that big. And like, so in turn, like, I think the best part about Facebook is the sort of independence you get, right? Again, the fact that you get to make your own choices really brings the best out of people. Like मेरी internship से पहले मुझे teams की list आई कि कौन सी team लेना चाहते हो, right? I said कि मेरे को ये team चाहिए, फिर मेरे को बोला कि चलो ठीक है अपने mentor से बात कर लो, if you to figure out कि क्या project पे काम करोगे before the intern actually started, right? So I discussed with my mentor what are the different projects I could work on. Finally हमने discuss करके we decided 1 or 2 projects. I joined, I did not like that project, वो change कर दिया हमने intern में, right? So overall it's like the sort of independence they give you really brings the best out of you because you feel कि यार तूने decide किया है ना, अब तू कैसे crib कर सकता है कि यार team अच्छी नहीं है, right? Then you sort of like own it up and then you decide कि अब करना है, अब जो भी है बस मुझे करना है, and the same feeling in the job as well, right? So I joined the timeline team. थोड़े टाइम में मैंने बोला यार मुझे थोड़ा iOS में काम करना है, तो they moved me to the iOS team like in 9 months, 12 months. Obviously you have to be doing well. अच्छा नहीं कर रहे होगे तो they will not listen to you as much as well. But like if you want something, there is a high chance you will get it, and that I think is like amazing. Obviously उसके अलावा बाकी सारे perks तो है ही. I love the fact कि मेरे को laundry नहीं करनी पड़ती थी. मैं घर से कपड़े लाके डालता था एक जगह पे, अगले दिन iron होके हैंगर में टंगे हुए मिलते थे जो मैं घर ले जाता था. Right, like
amazing.
Crazy है, like the kind of perks you get is like crazy. मतलब नहीं कर सकता.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So you're working at Facebook, you're done with your masters, you're on that typical corporate journey. What made you get into entrepreneurship and starting Coding Ninjas?
So if you are in Bay Area for a long enough time,
Yeah.
it's impossible that you will not think about कि खुद से कुछ करना है ना? ये तो दिमाग में आएगा ही आएगा कि खुद से कुछ करना है. Now at that time around I sort of realized कि अगर लग रहा है कि कर लेना चाहिए तो it's ले लेते 1-2 साल और कर लेते, नहीं होगा तो कुछ नहीं होता, then I can get back, I'll still get the job. But
I feel that like at least half of all the software developers working in the Bay Area are like secretly working on this stealth startup.
yeah,
And if that goes big, they'll just be like, okay, I'll resign and now
होता नहीं है. Sadly, no, that doesn't really happen unless you go full time
Doesn't
into
happen?
it. Unless you go full time into it, it's very hard to make the part time thing work. Right?
Okay.
For example, what I sort of said is that to myself, कि यार 2 साल, take 2 more years for yourself. Like you have decent amount of saving. Stanford में
R&D
में
fund for you, like if something happens. Then
right. So if something makes sense, then I'll sort of continue doing that path. If I enjoy it, I'll continue doing it. Otherwise, I'll come back to the US. I'll go back to Facebook or Google, or I'll do like something that I want to do once I'm back. Otherwise, let's try it out for 2 years. Because अगर नहीं किया तो I'm going to regret it a lot. कर लिया नहीं चला तो ठीक है. That's okay. That's a decision I took. Didn't work out. That's okay. So that was the feeling I came back. Honestly, पहले 2-3 साल कुछ हुआ नहीं. Nothing really worked out. But then I was really enjoying it, and it like sort of felt like just कि हो जाएगा. अभी आज नहीं होगा तो 6 महीने बाद हो जाएगा, 7 बाद हो जाएगा. Like I'll figure something. Yeah, I just had a feeling that I'm on the right path, and this is something that I enjoy. This is something that I want to do, and I just continue doing that path. And even if it doesn't work out, I knew very clearly that I'll join a 5-people team, which has a little bit of funding, higher chances of success. So I don't want to go back into a large company. I want to go back to like, if I can't make it work, I'll join somebody who is making it work, 5-6 people, and then sort of build it along with them. So that sort of became clear because I knew this is something that I really enjoy, right? Like कुछ नया बनाते हैं.
What was the part of like working on your own thing is the most interesting for you?
See, I think everybody else, like everybody is driven by different things. For me, it's very clear I'm driven by output. Right? In the end, are we able to teach enough number of students? Are we able to actually impact their sort of career journey or not? That is what really drives me. And what that means is, I don't care मैं उसके लिए कोड कर रहा हूँ या कोड कोई और कर रहा है and मैं कुछ business side काम कर रहा हूँ. I have to manage the YouTube channel. I have to do social media. I have to do whatever I have to do. I don't really care that much about it. What really drives me is the output. And I want to be like doing whatever is the best for the company to generate that output, right? And I think that sort of feeling that you have control on that output, you are able to generate that output, generally comes when you are building something or you are part of a smaller team, right? Like when you know that you have control over things, you can actually make significant impact on the overall thing. I mean, Amazon, when I'm one of the 10,000 engineers, honestly, there will be like few people who will still make huge impact. But I still sort of feel that if you're part of like a 5-10 people company, which is going to generate a lot of buzz and a lot of help a lot of people out, I think it's really going to be, you'll just enjoy yourself more.
Right. Okay, I have one last question for you. Why do you think that developers are great at building startups? And we see a lot of CEOs and founders who are majorly developers, and then they went on to build their own thing. Versus we don't see that many MBAs going out and making their own startup. In terms of tech, I may be wrong. What do you think about this?
So I don't think that's exactly true. To be honest, I think it's a very simple model, right? Like what you need to do is you need to build something and then you need to sell it. There are two parts to this. You need to be the salesperson or you need to be the builder. Generally the tech person, because most of the companies now are tech oriented. So you definitely need a tech person to build it. Then you also need somebody to sell it. Now, one good part is that MBAs cannot build unless they actually put in the effort to learn tech and then basically start building technology. But a lot of people can sell without having an MBA. Right? So
this is what Naval Ravikant also says, that it's preferred for someone who is a builder, who builds software and then he learns the art of marketing, unless the other way around would not work as well.
Yeah. So, for example, personally we actually decided to get another co-founder 2 years into Coding Ninjas, who I felt will be the right person to grow. Not just because I definitely feel they'll do a better job than me in terms of growing. But that is a skill I could still learn, but that makes me not focus on the students, not focus on the content and tech. And if I really want to focus on that, then I wanted somebody else to sort of do that. So you can say I got not an MBA, but somebody with business sort of skills, somebody who will sort of take care of that, right? So I decided to go ahead and do that. I think both the skills are extremely important. And tech people don't value business skills as much, business people don't value tech skills as much. I keep telling everybody who comes to me, कि अरे यार टेकी का क्या करेंगे, सीटीओ क्यों चाहिए मुझे, किसी को हायर कर लेते हैं, डेवलपर को बनवा लेंगे उससे. These are sort of people who take out 1 year waste होता है, फिर they realize कि नहीं चाहिए, right? And the other way around as well. Both the skills are extremely important. You need to have the right co-founders for that.
All right. Okay, Ankush, thank you so much for joining me here for this session. Guys, you can also take a look at the scholarship test that will be happening. Link is in the description. And yeah, thank you so much for sharing your journey. And I hope the people got to learn something from this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much.
So yeah, that was it. I hope you got to learn something from this. Let me know what are your questions in the comment section down below. You can also follow me on Instagram. And also, I am coming up with some amazing content in the future. So stay tuned for that. And I will see you all in the next video.